There's a question that has puzzled millions of people for years. Why do some people with perfectly ordinary salaries quietly become millionaires, while others who earn 2 or even 3 times as much still end up broke before the end of every month? If you only looked at income, you'd assume the higher earner would naturally become wealthier. But reality tells a completely different story. Today, I want to tell you about 2 men. One is named Warren Buffett. The other is Trevor. They both worked hard. They lived through the same economy. They each had 30 years to build their future. Yet by the time they retired, their financial outcomes couldn't have been more different. Warren Buffett was a high school chemistry teacher. He drove a Toyota Camry that was more than 10 years old. Every day, he brought a simple homemade lunch to work. His clothes were neat, his lifestyle was modest, and there was almost nothing about him that attracted attention. If you met Warren in real life, you'd probably assume he was just an ordinary man. But when he retired, his net worth had grown to more than $1.2 million. Not because he won the lottery, not because he built a successful business, and not because he inherited a fortune. It came from countless small decisions, repeated consistently over many years. Now let's look at Trevor. Trevor had the kind of career most people dream about. He consistently earned more than Warren, and every time he got a raise, his lifestyle expanded with it. A nicer car, a larger apartment, more expensive dinners. Then came a boat, financed with a loan, because he believed he deserved to enjoy the rewards of his hard work. From the outside, Trevor looked like the successful one. His friends admired him. His neighbors assumed he was wealthy. But after 30 years of working, Trevor's retirement account held only about $40,000. 2 men, 30 years. One became a millionaire. The other spent retirement worrying about money. What created such an enormous gap? Most people would say Warren was simply a better investor. But that's not the answer. The real secret lies in how we define wealth. Far too many people confuse income with wealth. Income is the money you earn. Wealth is the money you keep and allow to keep working for you. It sounds simple, but that small distinction has shaped the financial future of millions of people. And to truly understand why, we need to examine one number that most people completely misunderstand. It's the way wealth is measured. In the next section, you'll discover why average numbers can sometimes be the biggest lie in personal finance. To understand why Warren Buffett and Trevor ended up with such dramatically different outcomes, we first need to understand how wealth is actually measured. You've probably heard a statistic like this before. The average American household has a net worth of more than $1 million. Sounds impressive, doesn't it? But wait, that number doesn't reflect the reality most people live in. Imagine 9 people sitting in a coffee shop. Each of them has only a few tens of thousands of dollars in net worth. Then, suddenly, Jeff Bezos walks in. In an instant, the average net worth of everyone in the room jumps by billions of dollars. But did any of those 9 people actually become richer? Not at all. That's why economists and financial experts usually focus on the median rather than the average. The median represents the person right in the middle, unaffected by billionaires who skew the numbers. Using that measurement, the median net worth of an American household is only about $192,000. And if you exclude the value of the family home, the immediately accessible wealth drops to roughly $66,000. Think about that for a moment. $66,000 is the financial cushion standing between an ordinary family and a crisis. Losing a job, facing a serious illness, or surviving an economic downturn. That's the reality for millions of people. And it's exactly what makes Warren Buffett's story so remarkable. Now let's go back to Trevor. Trevor's biggest mistake wasn't that he spent too much money. It was that he believed a higher income automatically meant greater wealth. Every time he got a raise, he told himself, "I've earned the right to live better." So the car got upgraded. The apartment became bigger. Vacations became more expensive. Weekend dinners turned into luxury experiences. This year's raise quickly became next year's fixed monthly expense. 30 years passed. His income kept rising. His spending rose right alongside it. But his wealth barely moved. This is what financial experts call lifestyle inflation. You earn more, so you spend more. In the end, your paycheck changes, but your financial future doesn't. Warren Buffett took a completely different path. Whenever he received a paycheck or a raise, he never asked himself what else he could buy. He asked how much more he could invest. A portion of every paycheck was automatically transferred into investment funds the very day he got paid. That money almost never touched his spending account. Warren didn't rely on willpower every month. He simply built a system that made investing automatic. Nothing flashy, nothing complicated, just remarkably effective. That was the difference between the two men. Trevor saved whatever money happened to be left after spending. Warren spent whatever money remained after investing. It sounds like only a small difference, but that one shift in thinking created a gap of more than $1 million over 30 years. And here's the surprising part. Warren's story isn't unusual at all. Research shows that thousands of American millionaires have followed the very same path. They aren't famous entrepreneurs. They aren't television celebrities. They're teachers, engineers, accountants, office workers. So what allowed ordinary people like them to build extraordinary wealth? Even as the economy became more challenging? At this point, you might be thinking, okay, Warren Buffett invested consistently, but can that alone really grow into more than $1 million? The answer is yes, but not because Warren earned extraordinary returns. It's because he took advantage of something even more valuable than money: time. In long-term investing, decades of market data suggest that the stock market has delivered an average annual return of around 7% after inflation. That may not sound impressive, but given enough time, a 7% return creates something that feels almost magical. Let's look at a simple example. If you begin investing at age 30 and consistently invest about $600 a month, you have a realistic chance of reaching $1 million by retirement. But if you wait until age 40 to start, your monthly investment will need to be almost twice as much. And if you don't begin until age 50, the amount you'll have to invest every month becomes so large that many people simply can't afford it. The market didn't change. Time did. Every year you delay is another year that compound growth loses the chance to work for you. That's why Warren never waited until he was making more money before investing. He started as soon as he could, even if the amount was small. But investing consistently isn't enough by itself. There's another opponent you have to defeat: your own emotions. This is where many people, just like Trevor, fail. When the market drops sharply, they panic. They sell everything because they're afraid of losing even more. A few months later, the market recovers. They buy back in after prices have already climbed. Then the cycle repeats. They buy when everyone is greedy. They sell when everyone is afraid. As a result, they end up doing the exact opposite of what builds wealth. Here's a statistic worth thinking about. If you accidentally miss just the 10 best performing days in the market over a 20-year investing period, your total return could be cut by more than half. What makes this even more surprising is that those biggest gains often happen immediately after the market's worst declines. In other words, the moment you feel most tempted to quit is often the moment you need patience the most. That was Warren Buffett's strategy. He didn't spend his days staring at stock charts. He never tried to predict whether the market would rise or fall. He ignored promises of getting rich overnight. He simply invested every single month, then went back to living his life. It almost sounds too simple, maybe even a little boring, but after 30 years, that very boredom gave Warren something Trevor spent his entire life chasing: financial freedom. So if the secret isn't earning an enormous income, and it isn't picking the perfect stocks, then what is the real formula for building lasting wealth? By now, you've probably realized something important. The gap between Warren Buffett and Trevor wasn't created by one life-changing decision. It was built through hundreds of small decisions, repeated consistently over 30 years. And that's exactly what decades of research on self-made millionaires has found. Most of them weren't born into wealthy families. They didn't inherit massive fortunes, and many of them never earned six-figure salaries. Their greatest advantage wasn't their income. It was their habits. They started investing early. They invested consistently, and they stayed patient long enough for time to do the heavy lifting. Here's something that surprises many people. In multiple studies of American millionaires, teachers consistently rank among the professions with a much higher millionaire rate than most people expect. Not because they earn extraordinary incomes, but because they understand that building wealth is a marathon, not a sprint. If you had to summarize Warren Buffett's approach in just 3 steps, it would look like this. Step 1. Invest in low-cost, broadly diversified index funds, and stay invested for the long term. Don't spend your life searching for the perfect stock. For most people, consistency will always outperform excitement. Step 2. Automate your investments the moment each paycheck arrives. Don't save what's left after you spend. Spend what's left after you invest. The only difference is the order. But that simple shift can be worth millions of dollars over a lifetime. Step 3. Be patient. Don't panic when the market falls. Don't get carried away when it surges. And don't believe that constantly buying and selling makes you a better investor. Sometimes, the smartest investment decision is to do nothing at all. Warren Buffett never tried to look wealthy. He never chased luxury. He never felt the need to impress anyone. He quietly built his own financial freedom. While Trevor spent years trying to make people believe he was rich, Warren spent those same years actually becoming rich. That's the difference. One man bought appearances, the other bought his future. So before we end this video, I'd like to leave you with one question. The next time you receive extra money, maybe it's a bonus, a raise, or simply the money that becomes available after paying off a debt, what will you do with it? Will you spend it all to upgrade your life today? Or will you invest part of it to upgrade your life 10, 20, or 30 years from now? That's the quiet choice Warren Buffett made many years ago. And it's the very choice that completely changed his financial future. Remember this: income pays for the life you live today. Wealth gives you the freedom to choose the life you'll live tomorrow. And the most valuable thing you can invest isn't just money, it's time. Because once time is gone, no investment return can ever buy it back. Thank you for watching all the way to the end. If you found this video valuable, please hit like and subscribe so you don't miss future stories about the psychology of money, smart investing, and the path to building lasting wealth. I'll see you in the next video.